Right. Great. Thank you, all of you, to add to your side of stories and again joining with us on this early morning. Just give me a bit and let me pull the uh, you know uh, a deck around which we'll talk about what all uh, things we have in hand. Why Boomi, what are the challenges we have in daily out in the integration landscapes, different integration landscapes of different organizations maybe. And then we'll also dive in a bit on the content side, what we will plan to cover. So just give me one moment. Let me pull that up. All right, I have started to share my screen. Please confirm if you can see that.
Yeah, we can see it.
All right, good. Cool. So, just to talk a bit around uh, the Boomi space, this is what I plan to cover today. We'll talk about a bit about Boomi. I'm pretty sure though, almost all of you have a good hang of it already. You know why Boomi, what is Boomi and all that, but and so we will quickly cover that, and we'll quickly jump on the different components and different features we have in hand, uh, and what are the different content side which we'll try to cover across as we run in the different days and different modules on the Boomi side. So just to quickly run across, I think we all know, and which is why all of us are here. Boomi is something. This is an old DAC, so which is why you see Dell here. Avinash, right? So again, yeah, Boomi is one cloud-based integration platform or a tool which is very extensively used nowadays because of different capabilities and different feature sets it is offering. A pretty good amount of feature sets and I would say capabilities it has offered to different project landscapes, which and irrespective of and systems you have, whether they are based in the cloud or on premise, it has been taken care. It has been able to take care of all those set of requirements across different domains. So, be it HCM, be it healthcare side of it, be it retail organizations, be it logistics providers, any set of domains, you name it, and this platform is very easily able to take care of all those set of requirements. So, like if you talk about logistics and retail sets or supply chain providers and all those providers, the B2B or the EDI side of Boomi is something which is pretty widely used today. A lot of those providers and big organizations are very swiftly migrating from different other legacy tools to Boomi side of it because of different regions, which we'll talk in a bit. But all the developer level facilitations and feature sets, all the management side of aspects in terms of data management, process reportings and all those. So with different capabilities, everything is swiftly moving across on the Boomi side of it. Um, and yeah, which is why it is being so much in the market that you're hearing a lot of stories around it. Legacy tools being migrated to Boomi, different technical migrations happening, and from existing set of any integration platforms, all these set of integrations are being moved to Boomi integration space. And also, if we talk about uh, the the challenges side of today's landscape, so with the I would say outburst, or with the acceptance of AI in the today space, and different capabilities of data, it has been such a merge on data engagements typically, that uh, distributed systems, or systems had become so distributed across the landscapes, that within a single organization landscape, you see systems are so widely distributed that some of the legacy systems are sitting on premise. At the same time, there are certain systems which the organization is using on the cloud, and then there are certain systems which are maybe third party onboarded. So with the current set of engagements and outburst in the market, every organization is scaling up, expanding in different horizons, which brought different systems in the picture, across distributed across different sides of it. And which is why we landed into a need of such a platform, or such a tool which is able to take care of all those uh, requirements, where you are able to connect or establish your integrations in a way that you're able to interact with all such diverse systems with the ease of uh, development. Not that you have to establish everything separately, and then you need to plug in and all that uh, in that space. And with all the distributed systems, it has also added that you know integration complexities has increased so much, that I recall, initially, when there were certain projects in my earlier days where we are connecting to different end systems. We are setting up those integrations and connections and all those, and then after we have done that, we are integrating all those systems into one kind of a running cycle. So basically, the integration complexities has arisen so much because of those distributed systems, that it has become a little challenging to manage different endpoints, different systems you have in hand, different type of integrations you have built in, and then alongside, maintain all the data sets and everything. So that has been again another set of challenge in the today's landscape. Uh, Third is, as you see, and which I have also came across, because you have different end systems, be it something sitting on premise, be it something sitting on the cloud, or some other third party systems, and something which you are interacting, because you have different end systems, so obviously you have different data coming in, different type of data coming in. Some side you might be bringing in some database endpoints, XMLs, JSONs, or it may be some custom set of data structures defined. So with different variety, or different file patterns, you are bringing in from different end systems. obviously, mapping those or transforming all of those into something, some different end systems or whatever set of requirements you have, it has always become challenging with the increased uh, data outburst with AI and other set of engagements. It has become challenging to incorporate all those different set of data sets to something similar or some common set of endpoints. So, which is why, again, we needed to find one platform tool or engagement which should be able to take care of all those set of requirements. And then, some of the other factors which I have spoken to different stakeholders in the past, and they have brought up that, I would say monitoring around the processes, monitoring around the data, or the reporting side of it has also been another challenging part. So there had been a lot of legacy products in the market earlier, or I'm sure maybe today as well, where the process reporting or the data reporting hasn't been very robust or hasn't been very user friendly, I would say, where you can just directly go in and you're able to figure out what all transactions you have in place. You can do things around to uh, also see your transactional data, which is a data which is under transformation, and you can see what all data has been fetched over, what data has been transformed into some end system target file system. And you're able to see your different executions you have probably executed in your certain expected time frame which you have in hand. And so basically, diving deeper into your transactional data to understand what you have just processed, or which is pretty handy at the time of certain debugs where, let's say, you have landed into some error and you want to go back and figure out, what order you have processed or something unique like you have processed, and where it could be a challenge. So is to go through the logs, which is the logs is basically what all transactional or transformational steps you have taken within your integration. So the any platform or any tool you work upon, it should be something which should be able to give you transparency and user friendliness around these set of aspects where you're able to easily dive in and understand different steps your integration has went across, and you should be able to adapt to any sort of debug framework or debug challenges based on that. So that's something which I have directly heard from different stakeholders in the past. And again, last is around the performance aspects as well, where uh, in the existing set of legacy platforms, they have reached out a level where they're not able to scale up from there because of, again, not such a very easy friendliness around, I mean, user friendliness around your things to scale them up, or not. So basically, in those set of tools and platforms, you need a specific skill set of people to just jump in and do things around increasing performance issues, be it from the development perspective or be it from the infra level of perspectives. But I think with the Boomi integration landscape, uh, at a certain point, we do need skilled folks who can add up things around the infra side of it. But from the development perspectives, it's something you and me who can take care of those bottlenecks with with changing our design approaches, with incorporating more of the parallel processing side of it, and doing all those things without changing much on the configuration sides. It's just that friendliness with the design, understanding with the design approaches and the patterns. It's something which you can incorporate into your designs and achieve these kind of daily scenarios or challenges. And then if you get a lot of ease around your environments as well. So if you see the right hand side of it, certain other parameters where challenges has fallen across in the past, and Boomi is has been able to handle all those challenges. So challenges around security, where not with every platform, but there had been issues with certain set of platforms where not every layer of security is something you can or you were able to incorporate. But Boomi has given those capabilities where it can incorporate security features around network layer, around the data layer, and then all different level of accesses, different level of other things which you can do around to ensure you have ample amount of security in place. Then we just spoke about transaction processing and friendliness and user friendliness around it. How it has helped in terms of monitoring and all those aspects. Monitoring is something pretty much of a good capability which Boomi has thrown up on our side. Then creating of test environments or forsake any sort of those environments, it's something pretty easy on the Boomi side of it. It's something which you can do on on just few clicks and set up your any sort of required environments, and then onboard your those activities onto those in particular environments, like any testing, any UAT environments, sandbox environments where you're just doing your development, POCs, and all those different activities. So that has become very easy alongside. Mappings has become so user friendly, so developer friendly with the with the Boomi development landscape, because everything is pretty much like configurable. This is around the low code or the no code approach where uh, uh, instead of writing the entire set of codes, entire set of packages you're building, it is something where you can just plug and play with, different set of features you have in hand and do your things around it. So with just doing some set of configurations, you are able to achieve lot and lot more within the development space. So that has become very friendly and very encouraging, I would say. Then yeah, sizing and performance things we also spoken about. So that has also become pretty easy to scale up from the Boomi side, because you have different aspects. You can do certain things from the from the development side where you can achieve different things. You can try to incorporate different things to like adapt to parallel processing, and then there are certain other things which you can do from the infra or the admin side to scale up from atom to molecule and then to other things. And we'll talk more about atom and molecules, which are the executable spaces in the Boomi landscape, where all the where all the action happens. So we'll talk about more on that aspect when we get along. Um, Moving on. So yeah, just a few pointers around your overall challenges we have in hand with current maybe migration tools or maybe current integration tools. So yeah, again, the type of integrations we do, or the way we do those integrations around in those tools or the platforms, it's a little bit challenging. I recall myself doing some of the things. Again, if I'm naming something, I'm not trying to put those particular platforms under some radar or under some degraded action. It's just that I'm trying to quote some example. So I could recall, some of the integrations I had done around OIC, Oracle side in the past. Very few though, but uh, because a certain higher set of activities you have to perform up over there to do different things, to do even to do development side of it. You're building a lot of things over there, and then for the deployment you're doing certain different set of activities, and then for the reporting side you have to uh, incorporate those in a different way, and it's still not very user friendly to read out of those logs. So again, yeah, the type of or this type of integration has been a little too complex. There, it's not that they're not able to achieve whatever you're expecting out of your current set of requirements, but the friendliness or the easiness to do those things around has not been uh, such top notch, which I think Boomi has tried to give us. On the same lines, data, as mentioned, could not move easily, business process automation, analytics. Yeah, so I think it's pretty much which we have spoken about already. Friendliness around data, friendliness around development, which is why, you build so vast and scaled up integrations that your uh, data transformations or data movements from one end system to other after you have transformed everything has become quite easy and quite interesting to do so. Um, Business automations has become easy because of the ease or the different capabilities Boomi has given us now. So I think pretty recently they have added something on the automation side of it as well, which means if there are certain set of activities where you're just performing repeated steps daily in and out, uh, there you can incorporate those automation features to build those integrations around, and let those things happen in an auto mode now on from there on. So from those side of automation perspectives as well, it's something which has been added recently, and those are the set of some challenges which we face daily in and out, and Boomi has tried to incorporate all of those. uh, and again, just to mention a few, so it's something which I found very interesting, and which is why I have added over here. If you look at any big organization, which is or any product-based organization, or any manufacturing organization, something which is huge. So if you look the organization's picture, they'll have every department at hand, where HR is working in some capabilities. There are different ERP tools which you use, different CRMs where you use daily in and out, which probably your field folks are using or different business people are using. Certain tools you use for the procurement sides, which there are thousands of things which you're acquiring or procuring daily in and out for your, again, information flowing into ERPs and CRM and fields, representatives and all. So you're using those procurement tools daily in and out. Thousand things you're doing around marketing your organization, marketing all the services you're providing, and then again 100 things around the billing and tools you're using around for support or ticketing management. It could be ServiceNow, it could be Jira, or any other ticketing management tool. And under different layers, you might be having different databases, different applications built. All those under on top of all those layers for different set of your departments. Like there must be some applications for field people, some applications for finance folks, and something like that. So under a similar, under a single organization's umbrella, you see how vast different systems we have in place. What all different variety of end systems you are looking at or targeting to connect, and these are the evolving challenges, in the today's landscape when every organization is trying to match up with the evolve or outburst of AI, with the outburst or with the demands of different technical migrations, with everything becoming so smart that you cannot just sit back on your old set of engagements. The time is to evolve from those engagements and try to evolve out your integrations in a way that everything is in the hand of customers, because everything is app based now. Customer have uh, different systems in their hand, different devices in their hand to interact with the information. So that's the need. You have to evolve so much that you're able to incorporate all the vast information you have within your landscape, vast different end systems you have within your landscape. So, having seen all of that, uh, it's 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 the requirement that whatever iPaaS platform you choose, it should be something which is able to take care of all the integration challenges, which you have in hand today. So, having said that, and being a cloud-based platform, Boomi is definitely something which is serving all those needs in the market today. With different features or different product suits, I would say it is offering as part of their capabilities, and which is why they're able to take care of all those emerging set of systems, diverse systems, and diverse set of information flowing across uh, from an organization in and out in current landscapes. So if you see on the right hand side over this diagram, these are the different features or different capabilities Boomi is offering right now. On the data side, we have master data hub where we're able to do different things around structured and unstructured data, uh, which we'll dive across in our curriculum as part of it. Then we have the integration space where, and it is the most, I think, widely used aspect of Boomi, where you are building your integrations for different needs based on different integration patterns you're doing. So they could be your point-to-point integrations, where you're just connecting, one endpoint to another endpoint. Or then there may be other needs where you're building some, event-driven integrations where some event is happening in one end system, which is triggering your integration, or you're maybe building some real-time integrations, which is like you're calling some integrations directly on the fly, and different other integrations, batch integrations, integrations which is built on publish and subscription models. So these all things which we will dive across as we go along. But integration capability is something which provides you vast majority of features to build those integrations, and with the ease of development features and the capabilities we have. And then again, a lot of things around data catalog and preparations you can do. Again, one of the good feature, or maybe which you can incorporate with other stuff as well, with our other features as well. Then we have flow, which is a pretty great side of it, where you're doing some of the organizations are building some applications around those, and publishing those for different purposes. Then we have API management, where this is one common platform or the feature given by Boomi, where you can publish your APIs. You can design your APIs. You can add all the governance factors around it. You can add all the control you need to have on your API, and this is one space where you can achieve all of that. And then we have, P2B and EDI management capabilities. And this is again something which is pretty widely used in the market today for different giant organizations I know of. Because again, the ease of development, because again, the ease of ability, capability to use different design aspects or different design patterns to serve different design needs. Uh, Again, something which we will take across more in detail. But yeah, out of the challenges, again, if we talk about why Boom from an organization's perspective, there are a lot of factors which are taken into consideration. So these are some of the basic ones which are the most talked about whenever such a question arises, or whenever such a question happens to be flowing across stakeholders, between the stakeholders to talk about more. So the first most good part is no code configurations. You're not coding like to the core of it, and it is more around plug and play activities you're doing. So with some configurable activities, with some templates setting up and all that, you're able to achieve more and more out of your integrations. So because of that, your the onboarding time or development time has decreased for repetitive set of integrations or repetitive set of onboarding, and which is why the organizations are benefiting out of it, and even for the development or for the developers as well. Then deployment options is something very good and something unique within the same set of integration space. You're able to deploy your integration into different spaces. Like you can deploy within on-premise executable space, you can deploy on the cloud executable space, and if any org is having like its own cloud maintained and all that, so you're able to deploy on those particular spaces as well. So depending on your requirement, depending on the project requirements, it's absolutely flexible to uh, deploy your integrations around those spaces and manage from there itself. Uh, and because it provides all the feature sets at the single platform, it has become so centralized that within the same space you're able to develop, you're able to deploy, and you're able to all the admin aspects as well, and you're able to deep dive into your process reporting aspects as well, where you're able to see your executions, logs, and everything in day out. That's around those. And then yeah, I've been talking much around all of these, but towards the end, we'll have some questions around as well, if anything comes to your mind. So I'll try to run across quickly. So yeah, if you go through over this slide, it again talks about on the same things which I was just speaking, that it has simplified the integrations because like some of the legacy spaces, you're not coding to the core of it. Uh, you're not coding to establish your connections. You're not coding to achieve your mappings. You're not coding to build your validations or business rules and all those aspects. All these capabilities are something which you're able to achieve with some configurations, and which is why this is around the low code and no code approach. uh, you are able to achieve more and more out of just simple configurations and evolve from there on. Easy to integrate applications in the cloud, on premise, or hybrid set of engagements. And likewise, because you're easy to integrate those, it has become easy to deploy them as well in all these three set of spaces mentioned here. It's a unified platform. You get all of the features again in the same platform state. You get your development capabilities, deployment capabilities, and monitoring capabilities in the single space. With the inception of more around the configurations and less around the coding, uh, productivity has increased from the development perspective. Something which used to take good number of hours earlier to code, to package, to deploy, and then to test. It has become easy to plug and play, to build your profiles, to establish your mappings, to bring in business rules and all those things around. So the time to send your output or code or integration in the market, or kind of to production or to go live, has reduced, which is why it is like quicker time to get things live. And with that says that your productivity has increased with all those approaches and capabilities what Boomi has been able to serve around. um Walking across, we have spoken about this already, effective data management, because one thing, when data is in the transaction, you're able to manage it, transform it more efficiently, or when a data is into different end systems, you're able to establish all those connectivities and transform into those anticipated third-party file systems, which has made the data aspects pretty easy. We have discussed spoken about the security things already. We are able to add up security at different layers and take the max out of it. uh, Analytics is again revolving around the monitoring side of it, because you have those aspects pretty handy, available and pretty easily to access through. That has become easy. And from the Boomi side also, they have also given different dashboards on top of it to dive in maybe daily or whatever is your need to get those analysis around your processes, your executions, your data flowing, and different features of it. And because your development time has reduced, it has become so productive, so user friendly, and even to scale on the even to scale up things on the performance side, it has become so configurable easy, which is why scalability aspects of any integration or any landscape has become quite easy and user friendly now, with parallel processing options, doable just with the ease of setting configurations. It has become easy to incorporate or adapt your current existing integrations to a high influx of information from some uh, medium or easy scale of influx of information earlier. And then when you're out of the development aspects from the infra side of it, if it as well, uh, it has become easy for admins or infra folks to add to those capabilities, be it whatever things you're adding, maybe memories, rams, or certain other capabilities, that it has become so easy to do that the availability time has has increased, or the downtime has reduced. So with the inception of molecules as post the atom, uh, again the availability time has increased so much that even if Boomi itself is pushing certain updates, molecule setups are so smart that there's a header node which we set up in the molecule space. So molecule is basically a cluster of atoms, and atom is one single executable space. So molecule space is so smart that one of the node takes a lead, and it basically revolves around to take those time out to you know adapt to those updates being pushed from Boomi or certain externally. But basically it does not gives you that time downtime. If there are four nodes, three will be up, one will be performing those particular activities within its landscape or within its system. So which is why it has become so good to scale up, because of the features friendliness and because of the high availability of the system and the Boomi. All right. Lot of things spoken now. Let's quickly jump on to Boomi side of it. Just give me 1 second. Meanwhile, if you have any question, feel free to drop that on the chat as well, or maybe towards the end, we will anyways take that up. 1 second. All right. Um, let's go to platform. Boomi. I'm sure everyone of you is aware about it. How to go across. I might land up into something existing. So let's go to data. So this is how we get in. We go to platform.boomi, provide your credentials, and we get along into the Boomi platform. Now I'll quickly just show you, what all features we have in place and why we call it a unified platform. All right, so this is the landing space, where we currently fall upon, which showcases, what all different services Boomi has provided right now. So if you see over here, we have talked about these already, one-liners or something. So integration is something which is very vastly used day in, day out. MDH more around the data things we do. Some of the data which is structured, some of the data which is unstructured. We do a lot of things around data manipulation and data cleansing, data correctiveness, and all those things around MDH. API management, which has given such a vast amount of capabilities to govern, to drive, to design, to run our APIs. We'll get more into it. Flow is something which is around the I would say collective capabilities of these things, and more around building applications, collective, like single synchronized applications and all those. Event streams is something pretty new, which is more around building your decoupled integration. So, just to quickly give you a glimpse in 1 minute, when we build an integration, what we end up doing is, we tend to do everything around in one single, uh, landscape where we pull the information from some end system. We all do all the mandatory checks. We all do all the transformations within there and 100 other activities, and then send that data to file systems and all the error mechanisms and everything. We do uh, things around single landscape, but uh, event streams give us those capabilities to decouple everything and build our streams where again, either you can use point to point or like simple queue mechanisms, or mechanisms like you have published something, other people or other consumers can subscribe to that event and they can gain fetch that information out of it. So it's like I have fetched some information, then there is a like some of you are working on ESB side of it, so there is a service bus in between. I've sent that information over there, and then there are other processes which will pick up that information from over there and do all those things around it. But with the ease of friendliness of doing it and configurable capabilities, this has become so easy. And this is something which we'll dive across in a few days. And then task automation is something which I was just mentioning to, which I was saying around that there are certain automation capabilities which Boomi has brought in for things you're doing daily in and out in kind of a repetitive mode. And these are the resources side of it where we have training certifications and community around where you can go back and do your things around. I would let you explore all those things. Kickstart, community connectors. I'm sure you're aware of it for sure, but just to dive more, let's see the integration side of it. So integration service is basically, I think, the core of this all, where you basically build your integrations, which is something which you use thereafter, be it in your API integrations or some of the things around EDI, some maybe around automations and all that. But which is why this is the core. This is something where you create your integrations, do all your transformations and everything. So this is, you see all those features over here, different options over here. Build is the space, which gives you your explorers and something you build around, something you build over here. So let's say if I say we're building a new process, so something of like this will open and will give you these capabilities where connected are something is a space where you have hundreds of pre-built connectors or the endpoints already. All you have to do is just do some configuration activities, which is more around providing your attributes to connect to. So let's say if you brought in Salesforce, you all you need to provide is your Salesforce instance URLs, your connection attributes, or your encryption things like to get into the systems and all. So you provide your attributes to connect to, and that's all you need to get into any side of connectivity endpoint you need to get along. So that's how you do it. You brought in your connectors, and thereafter you have different other things to go across. Like if you come over here, there is a list of 265 connectors, inbuilt connectors, which you can connect to. Vast list of connectors across Amazon, Google, different variety of databases, different SaaS product systems, different ERPs, all inbuilt. You just brought in the connector, provide your attributes, and you're good to go. Then these are the aspects which will give you capabilities around development. So you build your maps. It's so simple to do. You give your source and system profiles. Profiles is basically which gives you capabilities to read your data. So let's say you're connecting to a database. Database will give you data in certain format. Now that's the format which I need to give in here to read that particular data. And thereafter you have different uh, mapping capabilities which you can use. You can add your custom scripting as well. So it's not that it's the only no code or low code thing. You have still have capabilities to build your code around. So if you are integrating with database, you have all the capabilities to build or write a stored procedure over here, make use of that. You can write your code in Groovy scripts. You can build your own libraries and all that. Ample amount of coding capabilities you can still incorporate depending on your need. And then there are different other functions which you can do. So like date functions where you can transform your format to one format to another. Numeric functions, a lot of those. So a lot of capabilities which you can plug in around here, and different other things which you can do over here, which we will get across slowly in our content. Different logic attributes, like you can bring in your business rules for validations. Flow control is something where we jump on to the capabilities of parallel processing and all those, which we were just talking about earlier from the scaling perspective. So a lot of friendliness, these features give you a lot of friendliness around development capabilities, and which is why the development time has reduced. Sending those capabilities out into the market or to make them go live has reduced. That's, these are the reasons around it. Moving swiftly across from build to this another tab, which is around deploy. It has so easy now to get things deployed. What you do is basically, so you build your let's say if you have built something, you get on to the deployment tabs, you create your packages. So whatever you have built across, let's say this is some Slack notification from framework, you will just package it. You'll create a package out of it, you give some naming conventions and all, and then that package is something which you can deploy to your different environments, be it your development environment, QA, UAT, or if everything is tested, you can just directly move that environment, move that package to your production set of it. You just need to move those things to different environments and you're all set. You're not creating different packages. You're not creating every time a different uh, activity to perform or activity to do those deployments. Quickly moving to the management side of it, which gives you different capabilities around process reporting, which gives you capabilities to go across for all executions you have ran in the past, or different time frames you can get into across a month, week, 24 hours, or something like that. Different features to do, what all processes you have processed. Again, different capabilities around to get along into different aspects of it. And even once you have your processes over here, your executions over here, you can get into those executions specifically and dive into little more details, which will tell you what steps it has taken to perform those activities, how much time it has taken at that particular step. It will give you what all where it has errored out, what messages it has given, what information message, what warning message it has given. So there are different capabilities which we can build around it to make them more informative and productive. But these are the capabilities which you have in hand to run around your integrations, and then uh, You can have other aspects as well, where let's say you process some order maybe 25 days back and you're not aware what execution has processed it. So there are different other features which you can do, like you can track your order. There are tracking fields which you can establish. You give those values and the particular field, and you're able to find the particular execution which has happened maybe 25 days back, and it has just at the ease of your fingers now to find that particular execution now, even though 100 executions have happened in the past. Item management revolves around more the admin side of it, where you do different other activities. You can manage your server aspects. Okay, maybe because this is a fresh environment, so nothing has been established now. We'll go across as we go into this curriculum. Quickly jumping back to our content. Seems like I have typed too much. All right, these are the different flavors we have talked across. So just to mention, we'll dive into deep of everything of these in our content. MDH integrations, B2B API management, the automation side of it as well. Flow is something which we are not incorporating at this point of time, but we'll see how we can maybe incorporate that in the future or in different curriculum. But apart from that, everything else is something which we have in our agenda, and we'll dive across into it in detail. Let me show you the content quickly. Uh, so this is how we have planned it. This is the expectations which you can have, after we are covered with all of this content. You will be able to dive across into different capabilities. You should be able to run your establish your integrations end to end. You're able to connect to different endpoints, different services like web services, REST, and so. Uh, you're able to establish all those connectivities, database connectivities, and everything. E2B, B2B capabilities, MTH capabilities. You're able to manage your APIs from the API management perspectives. You would be having good hands-on on the event streams, and this is something which I like pretty much. I have recently created a solution out of it. Then task automations is something we'll definitely get into. Uh, if you see on the right, little detailed structure on the content, this is something we are over here now. We're talking around these things. Um, on the next section, maybe we'll talk about how we get on the Boomi side, how we create an account, what all different other platform features we have. We'll try to maybe create some very simple integration, and we'll try to run it just to understand more in detail of that. Then to begin with, we'll try some simple integration, simple maybe some point to point kind of thing. We'll build that, deploy, and run executions to see from all perspectives like build, deploy, and manage. We will walk across different integration shapes, different, which I was just showing you, just a bit back. But in that particular module, we'll get in little more detail into it, like what all mapping capabilities we have, what all different mapping functions we can make use of, what all maybe routing, business rules, and kind of things we have in place. So we'll have a little more deeper dive into all those aspects, and then one particular day for further diving into deeper on those components, like decision shapes, sub processes, process routes, business rules, and other advanced level of components which we do, like using caches, what all different things you have, and proper running around properties. Properties is something which is like the core of our integrations. So we'll have a separate module to dive more further into it. And when this kind of basic setups we have done, basic capabilities we have done, Then we will build another simple file transfer integration. We'll cover different aspect of it. We'll do to FTP to kind of S3 bucket. We will do what all things we can take care into it. Activate, schedule, test, and monitor integration. So we'll go into complete end of it, end to end capability of it, and then build complex. So we may shuffle our modules a bit. So even before we build complex REST integration, we will probably go spend our time in a module where we'll go around some of the basics of SOAP and REST web services. So like if you see the module 9 here, this is something which we'll probably try to go first, and the rest as well. And then post that, we'll go into building integrations around REST and SOAP web services. So if you see here, we have a module around building complex integrations around REST, where we'll integrate with Salesforce, but we'll try to uh, trigger that using REST services through Postman and other capabilities. Then REST API basics and SOAP will cover early, and then move to integrations around it. We'll also build a Salesforce automated integrations without the REST services, like a out of the box connectivity setup. We will have an integration around, a typical module around the Oracle Cloud Process using the Amazon bucket. So different additional set of endpoints we'll target and run into. We'll have a separate process around the database connectivities. We have targeted Oracle here right now, but you can just correlate to anything outside of that, any database side of it. Then post that, we'll do other database integrations. If you see here, like Salesforce to MySQL, some Slacks and event stream integrations, Salesforce to Oracle integration, Salesforce to some shared disk space to also cover those aspects. Then Salesforce to FTP, S3 outbound, event streams in Boomi, task automations, and kind of these integrations. So what basically it will cover is we have kept one Salesforce, one of the kind of a common endpoint, and one of the endpoint we'll try to revolve into different endpoints to make sure we run across through different file systems, one run across different end systems, and which will give us capability to do different transformation, different shapes we'll end up using, different design patterns we'll go across in these different modules. So with those modules, we'll try to cover all the aspects of integration capabilities in terms of features we have in hand, in terms of different shapes we have in hand. We'll try to cover everything of those. And then from the EDI perspectives as well, we have two separate modules where we'll talk about EDI, we'll talk about what all offerings the B2B EDI module it have, and then we'll pick one EDI as well to integrate to one of the end systems like MySQL in this case here. So we'll do one EDI integration as well, and just to understand how things flow in the EDI world, how information flow, how easy it is to do all those things around. And then I was mentioning about the automation tasks. So this could be around this be Gmail to Slack automation could be like one of those activities, which will happen in the autonomous mode. But it will be automation type of activities, which will give us the chance to understand those as well, those capabilities. Then similarly, Jira to Slack. Then we have the API management module where we will typically dive into API features, API management side, what all we have in there, what all we can do. Module around SOAP, module around REST from the API management side. And then we have, I think, 3 or 4 days of modules around, MDH side, Master Data Hub. We'll go into every detail over there, what all capabilities it have, what all things it have, how we design things over there, and what all activities it perform and how it can help us in any project landscape to get a control on the data. One module around the administration side, and I think pretty much of it, although we will cover in our daily modules as well, like when we run integrations, we see process executions, document logs, track fields, and all those. So we'll cover up, I think, pretty much of that in daily executions, but certain things we'll try to cover in this particular last module, like tracking fields, how to add those, and all those capabilities. And then thereafter, team will get back with details around some live projects. We'll talk about more that in details once we get there. What are the projects? How we plan to do, revolve around it. How you can make the best use of it, and then certificate guidance and all those further activities, which me and my team will help you across on those aspects of it. So, in nutshell, this is the whole plan. This is the whole content which we will plan to cover across. Uh, if I recall from each of your aspiration, I think pretty much all of you has integration exposure already, but you wanted to get into a little deeper side of the Boomi, where we are doing different things from a different endpoint, from a different capabilities perspective, so that you have a better hang on of Boomi as a platform and its capabilities. And that is what we have tried to cover over here. We have covered different services. We have covered MDH, we have covered API management, we have covered EDI capabilities, we have covered task automations, we have covered event streams, we have integration as the core. So we'll cover everything of those, and then from endpoints perspectives as well, we'll try to get along into different end systems, endpoints, and we'll try to run through different design patterns, scheduled, batch, kind of a real time, and all those capabilities. So I'm pretty certain, I'm 100% sure, for all your requirements, anticipations, expectations, I think this content will be able to take care of all of those. And having said that, I've been speaking a lot. I have taken a lot of time. I will give that to all of you now. If you have anything, any question, I would be very happy to answer that, right now. Or if you have something later on as well, you can reach us out, and we as a team would be very happy to assist you and guide you across in those uh, questions, confusions, and concerns. So, opening the floor for you. I've stopped sharing, and over to you folks now. If you have anything, please feel free to ask it out.
Hi, this is Avinash.
Yes, Avinash.
I have a couple of questions. You have to bear with me.
Absolutely. No worries.
So yeah, a couple of years back, I I tried to create an account for this platform.boomi.com with
Mhm.
my office user ID credentials that but that got expired mostly. Now I think it's more like mostly 30 days validity will be there, right? After that, that environment would be expired and we can't do any hands-on.
Correct.
So if we sign up for this course, will there be any sandbox kind of environment where until the last day of the course where we can go there and do practicals or some kind of POCs or mini projects out there without any expiration? So
Correct.
would you provide any such kind of environment for the practice?
Right, and that's a very valid question, Avinash. And very true. It used to happen earlier. You can go and create a trial account with any of your even Gmail account and kind of things. But now this is not happening. They're expecting a Boomi, not a Boomi, but a business account basically. So yes, we will take care of that. We will create those accounts for you. You have some of your accounts as well from your corporate or business accounts, but we will, from our side as well, we'll take care of that. We'll create accounts for you where you can go back and practice and do all the hands-on, and until you are associated, and post that as well, for a certain period of time. You should be able to take care of that and make use of that for sure. So we will handle and we'll take care of that.
Sure. Okay. So the next question is regarding the certification. Okay. So
Can
I
you
mean,
be a little louder? I mean, it's little.
okay. So what I was asking is, it's about certification. Okay.
Mhm.
So until like up to what level this training would help us to get certified in Boomi? So that's what my question is.
Okay. So, see, I have given trainings around typically focusing on certification, like where the agenda was just to build those capabilities where people are able to clear those certifications. But I would say this particular content, although it will cover up everything for you, whatever is there in the course content or whatever is there in the certifications, but from this content, we will revolve more around the uh, current project landscapes requirements, or your specific requirements, or from the perspective where people are experienced already, like all of you are experienced and have been in the integration space. So we will be doing integrations from those perspectives, a little uh, more deeper dive into those. But having said that, there will be nothing which will be left out from a basic walkthrough perspective, from a certification perspective. Everything will be covered. And I mean, in terms of content, because we will dive down into every shape available, every feature of Boomi, every capability of Boomi, advanced development as well. So we'll dive down into everything, how data moves and everything. There would be nothing left from that perspective. But yeah, if you come across anything specific at any point of time, again, you can brought that up in any interactions, sessions, or to me separately as well, and I will be happy to dive across deeper into it if there is something you're stuck with. But again, so to answer you, we will dive more into the implementations, or from a perspective where you folks are experienced. But the having said that, we'll cover every basic as well, and for the folks who are new as well. So from the basic to the advanced, everything will be taken care of. Everything will walk across. So you will get everything you need for a certification, that I can say.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That's all.
All right. Um, Anyone else? Satya, Soumya, Hussain, Rajiv, anything you guys have?
Um, for me, it would be, generally initially, during initial period of my experience, they would generally ask questions related to, the configuration and everything. But with experience, the
Mhm.
question changes. Like, let's say if you're doing a pub sub, they would, I mean, the interviewers generally ask questions like,
Right.
why choosing to do that?
Correct.
So if we could also get an overview, because it's a cloud and it's quite different from what we do on premise,
Right.
uh, bit of overview, like why we doing it.
Mhm.
uh,
Right.
that's very helpful in terms of cracking the interview.
Correct. So if you, I'll see, I'll check with my team if they can share the content with you. That will give you a good understanding of what all we'll go across. But I mentioned about event streams in the content, and that is something where we'll typically get deeper dive into all different design patterns or different capabilities we have, like simple atom queues, point to point queues, public publish and subscribe model, which you just mentioned. So all those capabilities, and I understand this is just one kind of an example which you are just quoting from a more experienced or interview interactions perspective. But yeah, that is like one side of it where we'll get more deeper dive into it from those perspective. But as we have all the other services as well, which we have taken care into the content side, and we'll go across. So from each side of it, we'll get into every detail. We'll get into every uh, core set of it. So like when we get into API side of it, we'll get into different aspects of it. We'll talk about all the things over there. When we get into EDI side, we'll talk about all the things from an EDI integrations perspective, like all trading partners, AS2, and all those activities. So when we move into typical model, we'll cover up everything. To your case, like sub models, point-to-point queue models, producer consumer processes, listener processes, simple consumer processes, everything of that we'll walk across in event streams and maybe somewhere earlier also. But event streams, when we get there, everything will be taken care over there.
I mean, my point was because on-premise and cloud is a bit different, so we might do things a bit differently in cloud.
Right.
For instance, recently I was asked about do we need a downtime, which I didn't know because mostly I've worked on on-premise integrations. So things like that,
Yes.
which are a bit different when compared to the on-premise integrations.
I completely get your point, and I have made a note of it. So when we talk more about the admin perspectives, we will cover up all those perspectives over there. When we'll talk about different executable space we have and how they can incorporate all these factors or questions for us, like regarding downtime, or from that perspective, like what all things you have in hand when you're on premise, or what all things you have when you're on the cloud. So what are the differences, what all things you have to consider in mind, maybe what are the little less negative side of it, and all those capabilities. And we'll cover up all those things in that particular module. I'll take a note of it.
Good, thank you.
Does that answers, Soumya?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Anything else from anyone? Again, I will be happy to answer.
Yeah, Manoj, for the ongoing sessions, would you please also include the licensing and costing parts as well? If you can put some lights on that, that will be helpful to us.
We can touch base in the ongoing sessions as well, but I think it will definitely come in the admin session, where we'll talk about the how the licensing concept work. I might not get into the actual figures because that varies, from customer to customer and different other factors. But we'll gain an understanding there how licensing logic works and what are the scenarios where there are certain misconceptions around licensing. We feel that this is gonna work this way and not this way. But yeah, we'll get to the core of licensing in the admin module or in the admin session. And all of these sessions are something which we can shuffle here and there based on requirements. So nothing like of a hard line anywhere.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Great. All right. I can see a few folks dropping out already, and I understand we are over time. But Hussein, do you have any confused? I mean, any question, any doubt? I would be happy to help you across. If not right now as well, I mean, later as well, you can reach out to us, and we'll be happy to help or guide you in any of those perspectives. Anything you have in mind, just feel free.
The JavaScript is required.
Not able to hear you, Hussein.
Okay. So JavaScript.
Okay. I can say, so you're saying something around JavaScript, but you have to rephrase that again.
So JavaScript is required for 10%.
Okay, so it's not like a hard requirement for any. I mean, it's not a hard requirement to be in the Boomi space, but it's like there are certain times when you have a requirement which is fairly easily doable through any scripting language, be it Java or be it Groovy, rather than doing it through different shapes you have, different component features you have. And although I personally tend to use more of the inbuilt capabilities and the features because I believe that that gives you more control around the debug when you're doing it. But I still because there are times when there are certain errors which occurs, and with the shapes you have more control on to understand how your data is moving from one shape to another and all that. But still, having said that, I have definitely myself also landed across scenarios where doing that through a script is fairly easy rather than doing through certain shapes and all that. So again, to answer you, it's not a hard requirement, but it's good to gain a working understanding around JavaScript or any scripting, because that helps at times to get things done fairly quickly and easy. But again, no hard requirement. It's good to have a working knowledge of it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right, we are 10 minutes over time. I have tried to cover up, the aspects of how Boomi is benefiting us in today's landscape, what all features it has given, what all services we have, what all things we have on the, on the canvas, and what all we are going to cover in our content, which, I just gave you a walkthrough. If you have any questions later on as well, please feel free to reach us out, and we'll be happy to help you in whatever way you're expecting, in terms of content or anything like that. Please feel free to reach us out, and otherwise, anyways, we'll have interaction in tomorrow's session as well. But yeah, for anything, reach us out, and thank you again for taking time out for this session on a kind of an early morning scenario, and coming up with questions, and having your voices to share your experience as well. It was great to interact and have this session. um, uh, if we don't have anything else, I think I'll close the session, and we'll meet up tomorrow same time. All right. Soumya, do you have anything? Sorry.
No, just said all good. Yeah.
Sorry.
I just said all good.
Oh, okay. Great. All right then. Take care. Have a good rest of your day, and see you tomorrow. And again, reach us out if you have any thoughts or any confusions or anything, and we'll happy to take you across on those resolutions. So take care. Have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.
Thanks, bye.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks, man. Thanks.